I'm Chris Thomas, and this is Masterclass. You got to train. There's no way around it. You got to put in the repetition, you got to put in the practice, but here's the other side. The other side is knowledge. You can train all you want, but if you don't train with knowledge, your training will only go so far and then will stop. If you're a serious and dedicated martial artist, you want more than that. And this is why I created Masterclass. I wanted to be able to share the deep knowledge of the art, the thing that makes it worth studying for a lifetime. My teacher told me it was a lifetime study, and he was right. So I appreciate the fact that you're interested in that kind of lifetime study. Longevity, to be able to continue to practice your techniques as you get older and older and older. A lot of people talk about something called a repetitive motion injury. And that's where you do a certain action over and over again and then you get hurt. The problem with that notion is that it's really incorrect. You see, it's not a repetitive motion injury. It's the repetition of an incorrect action that causes injury. And the fact that you have to reproduce that incorrect action over and over and over again before you get hurt says something about the resilience of the human body. But if you do the action correctly, no injury after thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of repetitions. And I know this because of how I train. So I know that if I do them correctly, I don't get hurt. And I know that if I do them incorrectly, yeah. What you're about to see is just a segment from one of the videos that I have in Masterclass, a segment on proper body alignment. You see, proper body alignment is the beginning to technique that will keep you working for your whole lifetime. This secret to alignment is a secret that, man, nobody seems to know. And yet when I tell people the secret and they do it, they recognize instantly that this is a deep insight. Put the weight into, we think about a point called bubbling well, or Longkran, which is located about, if you divide your foot in thirds, it's about a third of the distance from the front of your foot back. It's kind of in that pocket behind the ball of your foot. A very significant way to think about this as an alignment issue. On the crown of the head is a point called Governor 20, or Du 20, and that is Bahui. And then in your perineum, there's a point called Conception 1, or Ren 1, and the Chinese name is Huiyin. So you have Bahui and Huiyin, and they're basically on top of each other, straight line, through the body, right through the center. But it's the Tai Chi pole that we're looking at. That's where the energy is. Kind of generic way, if you want to look at and understand the Tai Chi pole. Imagine it coming through the top of the head right here and travels down. It comes out the grand foramen, which is underneath the skull. That's where the spinal cord comes out. And it travels right in here. So it's right with the spine, and then you have the cervical curve. So the spine curves out this way. So the first curve of the spine is out towards the back. And so right around the place that in Indian Ayurvedic concepts is referred to as the throat chakra, right around there, the Tai Chi pole kind of leaves from the spinal cord. It keeps going straight and basically passes, so the next area, that's where the heart is, and it basically kind of grazes along the heart. Then, as the thoracic curve comes back in down here, you'll see that the Tai Chi pole reconnects right around here, and this is where the point Mingmen is located. And Mingmen is considered the source of your ancestral qi, or what's called Yuan qi. And then right out here, then we come to the lumbar curve, and again it curves back this way, and so it leaves out from the lumbar curve, and as it exits the lumbar curve, it's going to go through that space in the bottom of the pelvis, and that's where Conception 1 is. So you see this through the top of the skull, kind of exits the neck right here around the throat chakra. It kind of passes through the heart, then right down here where the spinal cord is moving back forward again, reconnects with the spinal cord. This is right around the place where Mingmen is, the source of ancestral qi. It's very powerful water, kidney energy right there. And then it leaves the spinal cord again, passes through the cervical space down here, and it comes out conception 1. So that's the line as it travels through the center of the body. And so if I pay attention to that vertical alignment, I don't want it back here so it's over my heels. I want it forward so it's over Long Chuan, over kidney 1. Doesn't matter the stance. So for example, if I adopt what we call a horse stance, and I'm in a horse stance right now, and I've got my weight kind of back on my heels, and you can see this is called double weighted. This is stuck. Now I can shift my weight forward, and there I am. So I hope you've learned something. I hope you understand something about how to align that center line axis, the Tai Chi pole, and how to align with the line that connects the points on the feet, the bubbling well. We're going to come back a little later in this video to this idea of using acupuncture points in martial arts and just how critical and central they are. But first, I want you to understand that this idea of alignment, that's just one piece. In Masterclass, there's a whole section just on body mechanics. This is about things like how to move properly and how to position your feet properly and how to make sure your knees are aligned in a way that you won't get hurt, how to protect your joints while at the same time being very effective and very efficient. And understanding alignment and body structure and body mechanics in general is the key to this next secret. As you can tell, I'm not a natural athlete. I can encircle my own wrists, and yet I can hit really, really hard. And the reason is the secret of body mechanics, the secret of body movement, which can be summed up in this principle. Hand precedes body. If I go to strike this way, or if I'm doing a chop hand, right? I'm going to chop it, and I go, which is what most people do, right? They like this. See, that's what I'm getting. Even if I use a nice hip rotation, I only get that. What I need to do is change the timing. The timing goes like this. I start my hand first, and then I turn my body, okay? Hand precedes body. You understand? Hand precedes body. So not body precedes hand. Hand precedes body. My body's on an angle, 45 angle. This position is called Hanmei, the half-facing position. I start chopping, and then I turn. We're just going to go. Can you see that? How that times out? Can you see it? How my hand is moving first? Okay. A subscription to Masterclass gives you 12 months of access to everything on there. There's no restrictions at all. And there's a lot on there. Hundreds and hundreds of videos. All kinds of material. All kinds of content. There's a whole section just on Tai Chi. And another whole section just on what's called Isshin-Ryu Karate. And another whole section just on what's called Ryukyu Kempo. Along with the section just about self-defense and a section just on body mechanics. And then there's another section. And this one is maybe what I'm known best for. Because one of the great secrets of the martial arts is not just knowing how to hit, but where. It's not enough to hit hard, you have to hit well. In fact, sometimes hitting well isn't about hitting hard. It's about understanding exact targeting, exact what we call angle and direction, how to manipulate a point, the concepts of using pressure points together and the way they interact to produce the best outcomes possible. Knowing not only how to hit hard, but understanding how to hit well is critical to the martial arts. And the secret, understanding pressure points. The art of pressure point fighting can seem a little complicated. When you first confront it, you first learn about it, it can be a little bit overwhelming. But you know what? It's not. In this next clip from Masterclass, I will teach you the exact location and angle and direction to use a very critical point. This point we refer to using its acupuncture nomenclature. We call it stomach 5. Stomach 5. The Chinese name is Daiying. Now, right here, there's this little, you can see this on the skeleton on Harvey. There's this little like notch or little indentation. You can find it on yourself. You start with your finger on the corner of your jaw and just slide, and you'll feel this little indentation, this little notch. That's where it is. It's right there. A different way to find it, if you clench your teeth together like this, and then there's this muscle. It's called the masseter muscle. You find the front edge of the masseter muscle, and just kind of track down, and there it is. Okay. Now, this point is a hit point, and we hit it kind of at a 45-degree angle up. And so to help you get that, what I want you to do is you can do this to yourself, right? You take your hand, and you make your jaw tight, and you're going to kind of hit yourself right here on the tip of the jaw. Right? It's annoying, and it kind of hurts. Then take your hand and come over here. Find that spot, right? And now hit yourself on this 45 angle. So it's 45 this way, but it's also 45 this way. So it starts here, but it comes out up here somewhere. So it's 45 through the head, okay? So you feel what this is like. Okay. Then you tap yourself here. Whoa, what a difference that makes. I mean, ow. Now, to recover from that, don't slap yourself again, at least not there. Instead, take your hand. So I use my left hand on my left side. So I'm gonna reach over to my right side, right back here. You can see the wire of my microphone is there. But if you have a headache, and you kind of do this, you run your finger down that spot where you have a headache. That's called the spinal accessory nerve. Just take 2 or 3 fingers and just give yourself a little slap right in there, and that'll help take away that brain rattle that just happened. The funny thing about that clip you just saw is as I was doing that for the camera and hitting myself on the point, I actually felt it. I don't want you to think that there was any acting involved, because that's one of the great secrets that I learned, is the best way to learn point location is to identify it on yourself and make it hurt on yourself, and then you can easily do it on somebody else. I, along with my teacher, literally wrote the books on pressure point fighting. And you simply can't find someone in the world with a better knowledge and a clearer knowledge of what that art is. I taught all over the world. And that's part of why I created Masterclass, to make this knowledge available to you as a serious and dedicated martial artist. Hundreds and hundreds of videos, hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of content. It's an incredible opportunity. It's an incredible value. Nearly 50 years of knowledge. Right there on your smartphone, your tablet, your computer. As a special bonus, because of the fact that you've taken the time to watch this video, if you go and subscribe to Masterclass and you use this coupon code, it will automatically reduce the amount you pay annually to only $199. $199 a year. If you want to become a martial arts expert, if you want to become an expert's expert, probably the most valuable resource you can have at your disposal is Masterclass. I look forward to having you as a subscriber. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. Now, go train.